Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare. Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare, Gaurānande. The harmonium can go. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, with translations and purport by His Divine Grace. Om Vishnu Pad Paramaham Sapadi Vajakacharja Astatarisathi Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Tri Dandi Goswami Mahārāja Prabhupada. 8.6 Yam yam vāpi smaran bhāvam tyajati kalevaram tam evaiti kaunteya sadā tad-bhāva-bhāvitaḥ yam vāpi smaran bhāvam tyajati kalevaram tam evaiti kaunteya sadā tad-bhāva-bhāvitaḥ yam vāpi smaran bhāvam tyajati kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sadā tad-bhāva-bhāvitaḥ yam yam vāpi smaran bhāvam tyajati kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sadā tad-bhāva-bhāvitaḥ
vāpi smaran bhāvam
smaran bhāvam
ante kalevaram
tyajati kalevaram
evaiti kaunteya
tam tam evaiti kaunteya
tad-bhāva-bhāvitaḥ
tad-bhāva-bhāvitaḥ
yam vāpi smaran bhāvam
yam vāpi smaran bhāvam tyajati kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sadā tad-bhāva-bhāvitaḥ
Jam jam vāpi smaran bhāvam
yam vāpi smaran bhāvam
tyajati kalevaram
tyajati kalevaram evaiti kaunteya
tad-bhāva-bhāvitaḥ
sadā tad-bhāva-bhāvitaḥ tyajati kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sadā
yam yam vāpi smaran bhāvam
yam vāpi smaran bhāvam
tyajati kalevaram
tyajati kalevaram
tam tam evaiti kaunteya
sadā tad-bhāva-bhāvitaḥ. Ladies, yam vāpi smaran bhāvam tyajati kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sadā tad-bhāva-bhāvitaḥ yam vāpi smaran bhāvam tyajati kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sadā tad-bhāva-bhāvitaḥ yam vāpi smaran bhāvam tyajati kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sadā tad-bhāva-bhāvitaḥ yam whatever vāpi at all smaran remembering bhāvam nature tyajati gives up ante at the end kalevaram this body tam similar eva certainly ati gets kaunteya O son of Kuntī sadā always tat that bhava state of being bhāvitaḥ remembering. Translation in Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. But that is state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kuntī, that state he will attain without fail. Purport. The process of changing one's nature at the critical moment of death is here explained. A person who at the end of his life quits his body thinking of Kṛṣṇa attains the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord. But it is not true that a person who thinks of something else other than Kṛṣṇa attains the same transcendental state. This is a point we should note very carefully, how one can die in the proper state of mind. Mahārāja Bharata, although a great personality, thought of a deer at the end of his life, so in his next life he transferred in the body of a deer. Although as a deer he remembered his past activities, he had to accept that animal body. Of course, one's thoughts during the course of one's life accumulate to influence one's thoughts at the moment of death, so this life creates one's next life. If in one's present life one lives in the mode of goodness and always thinks of Kṛṣṇa, it is possible for one to remember Kṛṣṇa at the end of one's life. That will help one to be transferred to the transcendental nature of Kṛṣṇa. If one is transcendently absorbed in Kṛṣṇa's service, then his next life will be transcendental, spiritual, not material. Therefore, the chanting of Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare, is the best process for successfully changing one's state of being at the end of one's life. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatam Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitan Tam Sajiram Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Kṛṣṇa Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Kṛṣṇa Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Svaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadnyadeshatarine. The process of changing one's nature at the critical moment of death is here explained. Changing one's nature? What does that mean, changing one's nature? So, if you're Kṛṣṇa conscious, how is it you're changing your nature? One could ask. Changing one's nature. Well, there's a certain nature. You're sitting in a material body, that's a certain nature. Sitting in a spiritual body, that's a different nature. But the essence, the essential nature remains unchanged. So the real point is you don't really want to change your nature at the time of death. You want to keep your nature the same. That's the real point. I need to be fully absorbed in Kṛṣṇa consciousness now. So when I leave this body, I'll be fully absorbed in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. I want to keep my nature the same. Now, if one isn't identified with the material body, then his nature does change. Now I'm identifying as a human being, then I'm identifying as a dog, or as a monkey, or as an orangutan, or as a cactus plant. Then there are changes of nature according to one's misidentification with the material body. But if one is actually Kṛṣṇa conscious, your nature doesn't really change, it simply becomes more developed. Because there's always a tendency while we have this material body to misidentify with it, isn't it? Oh, I stubbed my toe. Even though we're Kṛṣṇa conscious, we still have a tendency to misidentify with the body, isn't it? So that nature can be given up, because we're endeavoring to change that nature, By chanting Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra, we're always endeavoring to change that nature. Right now, I'm misidentifying with my material body. I know it's not good, but I keep doing it again and again and again and again, thinking I'm male, thinking I'm female, thinking I'm white, I'm black. We keep misidentifying ourselves. Even though we know it's not correct, our conscience tells us don't do this, but we keep doing it out of habit over millions of lifetimes of misidentifying with the material body. We continue doing the same damn thing again and again and again and again. So that nature is changed. You see. Now instead of, when you actually get free from having material body, and there's no question of misidentifying with it anymore. So Krishna rewards you. He rewards us. If we made that a sincere endeavor to always remember Him, then He rewards us by not giving us a body that's a misidentification. That the spiritual world, I am this body. That's proper. I can think, yes, I am this body. The spiritual world, you can think that way. Yes, I am this body. Satchidananda Vigraha. The material world is a no-no. The spirit world is a yes, yes. So that nature is changed. A person at the end of his life quits his body thinking of Krishna. So I think, well, I'm young right now, I'm only 30 or 20, I don't have to worry about it right now. That's when I get old, I'll think about it. Don't make that mistake. Even little kids die. To speak of teenagers or 20-year-old, 30-year-olds. We see people, they're in the news every day. People are dying, young people, old people, middle-aged. Everybody's dying. That's a common factor we all have. This is the land of death, isn't it? Welcome to the land of death. Everybody dies here. So death is sure. They say that there's two things sure, taxes and death. Death is sure. It's a sure fact we're going to die. When is it going to happen? Well, not now for sure, but it could happen. I heard one of my godbrothers died while he was giving a class. I could die right now while I'm giving this class. Have a heart attack and drop dead. Even I had an epileptic, I had a seizure giving a Bhagavatam class one morning. I had a seizure while I was giving the class. He remembered. He was there. So, who knows? When I was a kid, we had what's called the Boy Scouts. And our motto was, be prepared. So it's a good motto. Be prepared. The death can come at any time. I have to be prepared for it. So I have to cut off all attachments to the body, to my possessions, even my followers. Whatever there must be, I must cut. What is that word sadhu? Another meaning of sadhu means one who cuts. So you can be sadhu or asadhu. Asadhu means one who's attached, who doesn't want to cut. Sadhu means one who wants to cut. So let's become sadhus. Cut. Nirmama, nothing is mine. Not my body, not my wife, not my husband, not my followers. Nothing is mine. I have only one thing, and that is Krishna. That is my one possession only, and that is Krishna. So how do we get to that position? What is it called? Krishna consciousness. How do we get to that position where we have only one possession, and that is Krishna himself? That's a very exalted position, paramahamsa. But how do we get to that position? That's the perfectional stage of the process of sadhana bhakti. The paramahamsa stage. Paramahamsa means a great swan. Swahamsa and parama means supreme or great. How do we get to that swan-like consciousness? The swan can take a mixture of water and milk and extract the milk, leaving it beside the water. So how we get to that position, we can extract Krishna from this material nature. We can experience Krishna even here in this material world. Prabhupada was reading today, Prabhupada, by devotional service, you can make any place where you're living you can turn any place into Vrindavan. Here, Krishna, we can feel Krishna even strongly because his pastimes are still going on here right now. The gopi is still telling her gopi girlfriend, my dear gopi girlfriend, don't you dare go back to Keshi God right now. You see this beautiful boy, named Krishna Govinda. He's casting sidelong glances, placing his flute to his lips, which like newly blossomed twigs. His transcendental body bending in 3 places is so beautiful, being illuminated by the moonlight in the sky. Smedam bangrita rachitam sachivishtena dishtim vankshila kishalam udiram tandakena govandakam harirana vgate kishpatunte ma pakshishastadaya visake bandhisasanga. Don't go, don't go, don't go. So that Leela is happening here right now in this place. Right now, the Gopi is still telling her Gopi girlfriend, don't go down to Keshi God right now. So here it's very easy, it's much easier, you could say. But what about when I'm in Delhi or New York City or Calcutta or London? But that same feeling, that same mood, that same taste, that same rasa can be experienced, bhakti rasa. Amrita, the deathless nectar of the taste of devotion. That can be tasted anywhere. This by sincerely begging Krishna for pure devotional service. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare. So it's not difficult. The difficulty is we make it difficult, you see. There actually is no difficulty to be a pure devotee of Krishna, but we make it difficult, that's our difficulty. Why do we make it difficult? Because we're habituated to playing the role of being the center of all existence. Aham, evaiti. Aham Ishvara, I am the owner, I am the Lord, I am the enjoyer. You see. Aham Bhogi. That's our disease. We keep foolishly trying to be the centers of enjoyment when actually we're not. The hand keeps trying to enjoy the food separately by feeding rather than feeding to the stomach. How much pleasure then? Of course, it's kind of pleasurable, you could say, to squeeze a glove jamun, and it feels kind of good. Squeezing a glove jamun, yeah, all that juice. Oh yeah, it feels so nice. That juice running over the skin, or maybe a rasagula, feels so good. It does feel kind of good, but it's nothing compared to putting it in your mouth and tasting it. You see, nothing. So we may get a shadow of pleasure out of sense enjoyment. It's simply a shadow. You see. It's called maya sukhaya, illusory happiness. We may get a shadow of pleasure out of sense gratification, but we will not get the actual pleasure. So my dear Prabhus and Matajis, let us not, kids, you see, let us not keep trying to cheat ourselves, you see. Let's wake up. Let's wake up and stop trying to be so stupid, ridiculous, idiots, wackos. And let's stop trying to do this, trying to squeeze pleasure out of that place where pleasure does not exist. Let us take advantage of this great Vaishnavacharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Tridandi Goswami Mahārāja Prabhupada, who taught us how we can actually experience the pleasure of our transcendental identities and relationships with that all-merciful, all-loving, all-knowing personality, Krishna, Ishvara, Bhagavan. We had no taste at all for anything. We were the hippie movement in the beginning. We first devotees were all the hippies, you see. We're getting our pleasure from illicit sex life and drugs. That was our pleasure, you see. But Prabhupada came and showed us a higher pleasure. He taught us a higher pleasure, better than your illicit sex life and your LSD trips. That is this pleasure of chanting the name of Krishna. What does Rupa Goswami say? What is that sloka? Tunde tandabadeng vitanade tanavali labdaye karna krada kadambani gatayate kanabrame brasam chaita pangani sangane bhaja sarvanam kranim najani janita krayabir amitai Krishna varnadvai. I do not know how much nectar these two syllables Krishna have produced, because when I chant Krishna, there's so much nectar oozing out of those syllables. My mouth, there's oceans of nectar. My mouth isn't big enough. Let me have millions of mouths. Having the sound of Krishna in the halls of my ears, how much nectar these two little teeny weeny ears can hold. I need billions and trillions of ears to hold that nectar. And Krishna dances in the courtyard of my heart. Can you imagine the Rupa Goswami says, the courtyard of my heart? Did you ever think your heart was a courtyard? For the name, it is a courtyard. When that holy name dances in the courtyard of my heart, my mind is completely stunned and my senses become inert. In other words, senses, they're not inert to bhakti, but they're inert to sense gratification. They're no longer hanging, give me this, give me that, give me. No, they're just relishing, drinking in the sweet ambrosial nectar of Kṛṣṇa, you see. So Prabhupada taught us how to relish this Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra. So they usually give up our illicit sex life, our LSD trips, our marijuana. We can easily give it up because he showed us something better than this. Something much, much better. The higher taste. It's like our cookbook, higher taste. So, but we see as neophyte devotees, sometimes we stumble, we go back and forth between Kṛṣṇa consciousness and Maya. It's like a windshield wiper in the car. Chip, 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 back and forth, back and forth. Kṛṣṇa Maya, Kṛṣṇa Maya, Kṛṣṇa Maya, Kṛṣṇa. We almost get dizzy from going back and forth. Back, Kṛṣṇa Maya, Kṛṣṇa Maya, Kṛṣṇa Maya. So how do you become steady? That's the real challenge us neophytes face. No more back and forth between Kṛṣṇa and Maya. How to become steady? Kṛṣṇa, 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 Kṛṣṇa. Yes. That's the real challenge we face. In the whole process of Kṛṣṇa consciousness, that we know Bhāra Bhakti, that Prabhupada has given hearing, chanting, remembering, offering, prayers, becoming attached, developing some taste, all these things, becoming steady, all of these things are there to bring us to that point of steadiness, you see. We're no longer flipping back and forth between Kṛṣṇa and Maya, Kṛṣṇa and Maya. The early morning hours are especially conducive because then the sattva guna is predominant. The sattva guna is a meditative mood where you can just fix your mind on some point and go deeper, deeper, deeper to that point. So if you fix your mind on Kṛṣṇa, then it's very powerful. Not you're setting your mind in a certain groove, a certain track. If you keep your mind on your track, you can barrel through the passionate daytime hours, the tamasic nighttime hours. You put your brain very solidly on Kṛṣṇa, 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 Kṛṣṇa. And that's why we have our Mangal Arti, why we have our Tulsi worship, Guru Puja, Bhagavatam classes, all these things in the early morning hours so we can become very solidly fixed. You see? So there's no more flipping back and forth, Kṛṣṇa Maya, Kṛṣṇa Maya. When the thought of Maya comes, spit at it. Yeah. As Jumanacharya Bandri told us, I just spit at the thought and sense gratification. It attacks my brain, I spit at it. So we have to understand there's no pleasure outside of Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Any other sides of thought, immediately reject them. Get out of here, you're not welcome, my brain. Get out of here, don't you ever dare come back again. I want only thought from now on for all eternity, and that is how to serve my beloved spiritual master and my beloved Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa. If we keep training ourselves, yato nishchalatam, the mind keeps going back and forth. You keep, from whatever and wherever the mind wanders, you must bring it back under control. Like somebody training their dog or a mother training a little kid. Bring it back till it finally gets fixed. You see. It's like they even train a tiger to become a tame animal, can you imagine? By training. A tiger becoming a tame animal? Yes. By training, even a ferocious tiger can become a tame animal. So we have these tiger-like minds wanting to devour sense gratification. But by training, by proper training and guidance and the bona fide spiritual master, these great Vaishnava acharyas, you see, they will actually bring us to that point. The mind becomes pacified and satisfied simply by taking show to the lotus feet of Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa. That all beautiful, all powerful, all renounced, all wealthy and famous person was standing there on the bank of Keshi Ghat playing the fifth note on his flute, attracting the minds of all the gopi girls. That fifth note is really amazing. I haven't heard it, but I heard it's really a good note. Much better than Beatlemania, Krishna mania, you see. They went wild. It's interesting to note, In Kṛṣṇa Mani, the girls are especially wild. Beetle Mani, especially the girls, young girls. Same thing in Beetle Mani and Kṛṣṇa Mani. The young girls were especially going crazy. That mood, Gopi Bhav, that's the highest relationship. There's Vatsalya, the parental, friendship, servitorship, neutrality. But this Gopi Bhav, that's the highest. Like when we be totally madly in love with Krishna. Of course, we don't imitate them. Our position is to be humble servants of the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna, and then in due course of time, Krishna will reveal to us what is our relationship with Krishna. We don't try to jump ahead. Yes, I'm sure I'm a gopi. No. I may be a flute, or a rock, or a peacock. It doesn't matter. I just want some position in Krishna's pastimes. It doesn't matter what it is. Not that I demand, well, Krishna, I will surrender if I can be a gopi. That's conditional service, devotional service. Don't make any conditions. Then you will not enter the spiritual world. We make a condition. I'll be your devotee if I can be a gopi. No, that's not unconditional surrender. Take the position of total, complete surrender to Krishna. However, Krishna is most satisfied with my service. That's how I will also be most satisfied in serving him. You see? So does anybody have any questions? I'll be happy to try answer questions if you have any questions. Yes?
Srila Gurudev, we are doing morning sadhana, morning spiritual practice.
We're doing morning?
Spiritual practice.
You may have to help me. Prashkeshwar, my one hearing aid went dead. So.
Which side shall we do?
This is my good side.
We chant daily morning, early morning, but how we successfully in this last exam of the time of death, so that we can remember Krishna 24 hours, how we mold our life in such a way.
How we should mold our life in such a way that we can always remember Krishna, especially at the time of death.
Well, the basic form is the 16 rounds of four obligative principles, and then on a practical level, you have to see how you can always remember Krishna in every situation. See, there's two things: remembering Krishna and forgetting Krishna. Krishna smaranam is the goal. How I can spend my daily activities in such a way, always remembering Krishna. That's the challenge. Just like in your car, you could have a nice picture of Krishna. You see where you're driving. Oh, there's Krishna. In your bedroom, you can have a nice picture of Krishna there. Just see what you can do. Put your favorite. Actually, Prabhupada mentions devotees can choose prayers that they really relish and recite them regularly. There might be some prayers or some bhajan by Narottam, Bhaktivinoda, etc. Find something that really enlivens you, and then you can add that to your sadhana every day, chanting up some mantras. But I'm doing it, I find really enlivening, is between each round I take some mantra and review a Bhagavad Gita mantra or a Bhagavatam mantra. It's like Swastistu Vishwasta Kaladasiddham. Take some mantras that really inspire you. And between each round you can chant one verse. I mean, I found that it's not required to do, but you can choose your own. You can choose your own things that really. That's what I'm doing my own, because it enlivens me. So I'm doing that. Between each round, chant a verse, a different verse between each mantra. And that way you get mantras you can use when you preach, and for your own remembrance also. So, and then you can come up with your own things. Maybe a nice picture, just like this picture, is very enlivening. So could even could get a nice version of it, put it and get a nice version in your bedroom. I have a picture of Murli Manohar standing on the bank of Jamuna Keshigat playing the flute. I have a big picture like this in my bedroom. I lay in the bed, I can look up, and there they are. As soon as I'm laying in the bed, I can look up, there he is. So, find what inspires you and enlivens you. That's it. Just like there's one verse I used to have posted on the mirror. It's one should not be happy or disturbed over a desirable and undesirable experience to be known that these feelings are just created by the mind. That's from the Isha Upanishad. I had that posted on my wall one time. One should not be happy or disturbed over desirable and undesirable experiences, knowing that such feelings are just created by the mind. Wow. If I find myself in an unpleasant, undesirable situation, it's only a mental concoction. Can you imagine the depth of that statement? Don't be happy or disturbed or desirable, undesirable situation. Know that such feelings is created in the mind. If I think something is desirable, that's a mental concoction. Thinking undesirable, it's a mental concoction. So there's so many things you can tune into to help you remember what is my actual position. Verses or Leela. Right now I'm reading Mahārāja. It's amazing. I spent hours yesterday reading Mahārāja. It's amazing. The whole thing they went through, you see. To put Yudhishthira back on the throne. Amazing, the struggle they went through. And how humble Yudhishthira actually was, and thinking, well, I don't want to deserve this, I should just go to the forest and be a renunciate. It's amazing the feelings these Pandavas have. And those who are working alongside the Pandavas. And with the feelings and the punishments the rascals got. Ashvatthama had spent 3,000 years wandering in the forest as a reaction for his murdering the Pandava army. And after they went sleeping at night, he got a heavy punishment. 3,000 years he had to wander as an ascetic. After being a big Kshatriya, he had to wander as an ascetic for 3,000 years, can you imagine? So I see all these pastimes, it's amazing. It reminds me I shouldn't be a cheater, so I don't have to wander for 3,000 years in the forest, you see. So there's so many things there in these books, in these verses, these pastimes. Just try to fill your life. Prabhupada said, read the Nectar Devotion 3 or 4 times. How many times have you read it? You see, he said, every devotee should read Nectar Devotion 3 or 4 times. So I don't know, if anyone has done that yet? Following Prabhupada? There's one. Jai! There's one devotee. We should offer our obeisances to him, beg for his blessings. You see. So there's so many things we can do to enhance our Krishna consciousness. There's so many things. You've got to take advantage of that. The thing is, we're not Krishna conscious because we're not taking full advantage of all this mercy that Prabhupada has given us. He's given us unlimited ways to connect with Krishna, unlimited, a whole ocean of ways. We should be diving into that ocean, but we're not. That's the problem. We're still standing on the shore, just sticking our toes in. Well, I know it's a little chilly in this ocean. I don't think I'm going to dive in, a little cold. You see, we're cheating ourselves by not taking full advantage of what Prabhupada has given us. That's the difficulty. We have to cash in. It's all cashing in on the mercy. You see, cash in on the mercy. It's all there. That unlimited mercy is awaiting us. Just to cash in on it. You see? But we're holding back. We're holding back. Well, I don't know. Maybe is Krishna really God? I don't know. Does God really exist? No. See, we have these doubts. Now, one very good training I got from Vishnudana Swami, who made me a devotee back in 71. A great Prabhupada told me, Prabhupada told me, you've been trained up under the expert guidance of His Holiness Vishnudana Swami. And one thing that Swami told me was this. He said, you must inquire until all your doubts are eradicated. So that's a very good thing. Find, like the spiritual masters there, we have Diksha Guru, advanced devotee, in your own studies. And plus, you have also the Guru within, the Super Sub. So if you sincerely study and examine, try to get rid of any doubt you have about this process. You see. We can understand it logically, philosophically, scientifically, and scripturally. If you can totally eliminate all the doubts you have about this process, that will make you very, very pakka, very strong devotee who can actually empowered to spread this movement like anything. You see. So we should all become very, very convinced that Krishna is God, driving away all the doubts from our hearts. And then we'll have a very powerful Shakti or potency that can act through us to make a big difference on this planet. I mean, this planet is in horrible chaos right now. It's horrible what's going on. I mean, leadership is so polluted, especially in the U.S. It's horrible what's going on right now. Unbelievably horrible things. The leadership has become so polluted that something has to be done in every country throughout the world. Something has to be done to put Krishna at the center. in the hearts of the leaders, the followers, everyone, the scholars, the scientists, the teachers, the worker class, the Brahmins, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras. Everybody must be taught how to put Krishna in the center of their lives, you see, the center of their hearts. And then we can bring that beautiful Ram Raja-like atmosphere back to this planet. Prabhupada said we can actually do it by the Lord Chaitanya's movement. We can bring the same atmosphere that was during Ram Raja to this planet right here, right now. Can you imagine having Ram Raja on this planet right here, right now? Yes. By the influence of Lord Chaitanya's movement, it can be done, and it will be done by those who seriously take up this mission to deliver the world. So anything else? Yes.
So in the purport it says that if in one's present life one lives in the mode of goodness and always thinks of Krishna, it is possible for one to remember Krishna at the end of one's life. So like if someone is practicing maybe many years or since childhood Krishna consciousness, but there is no quality. But if someone is practicing since few months before ending his life, will that person be able to remember Krishna at the end?
It's possible that somebody who just started like 3 weeks ago could go back to Godhead. Somebody who's done it for 30 years didn't go back to Godhead. It's possible. So don't think, yeah, I've been practicing for 30 years. I got it made in the shade. Yeah, second initiated, I got disciples or whatever. Yeah, I got it made now. Made, they call it the saying, made in the shade. I got it made in the shade, I'm going to make it for sure, no problem. Second initiated, I have disciples, many students, oh yeah, I've got it made. No, nobody has it made. You see, nobody has it made. It's always up in the air for everybody. Will I go back to God or not? You see? Will I go back to God or not? It depends on the quality, it depends on the feelings I have, really. It all boils down to your feelings. Do you feel an attraction to Krishna? Do you feel love for Krishna? Or do you think or you have just same as some impersonal, mythological Hindu mythology? What do you feel about Krishna? When you see the deity, does your heart melt? Or do you see a stone statue, a very well decorated stone statue? Or do you actually see Krishna standing there? You see? So the feelings you have when you chant his name, the feelings you have when you see his devotees, the feelings that you have when you see the deity, the feeling you have towards his dham, the feeling you have towards Prabhupada's purports, all of these things add or subtract from your we're going to experience the time of death. So learn how to give we all have a tendency to love, you see. We all want to love. Love is a very popular word. Love, I love you. Somebody said love is a 4-letter word because they've been burned so many times by it, you see. So-called love of this material world. But we all have, even a dog likes to have a relationship with his master, you see. The master comes home and he wags his tail, you see. So we all have this tendency to love. So we have to take this tendency to love. I have many people writing me every day on emails, and they said, I've been disappointed. I have not found unconditional love. They're trying to, this person, my student, is trying to find unconditional love here in the material world. Some girl, she's looking for a boy that'll give her unconditional love. Good luck. You're not going to find it, you see. You won't find it. The only place you'll find unconditional love is Krishna. You see. Only place. But mistakenly trying to find unconditional love here in this material world, we'll never do it. It's not possible. This is a world of conditionalism. This is the conditional world. There's no unconditionalism here. The spiritual world is the world of unconditionalism. The material world is of unconditionalism. I love you if you give me this, you give me that, then I love you. That's not love, that's lust. So we need to come to that platform of unconditional love, and that we'll find in Kṛṣṇa. Krishna has unconditionally loved every single devotee throughout all of existence, even the demons and the rascals. Krishna has unconditionally loved everyone. He makes no conditions. Everybody is being equally loved by Krishna. The devotees, the demons, everybody, even little mosquitoes, the worms in the stool. Krishna is unconditionally loving every single limited entity through all of existence. They're all his expanded part and parcels. He's expanding it from himself to enjoy loving rasa with each and every one of them. So Krishna never puts any wall on anybody, blocks anybody off. No, the block is we put the blocks. That's the problem. Krishna never blocks never blocks himself from loving relationship with anyone. We're putting the block. That's the difficulty. So we have to remove that block, which is keeping us blind to Krishna. Krishna is actually there. He's present within every atom, between every atom. Actually, Krishna is right here, present before us right now. We can't see him because he put all these blocks, these conditions. We have to kick out all these conditions so we experience Krishna directly. Prabhupada personally told me, now you must become qualified to see Krishna face to face. Direct order from Prabhupada to Sankarshan Das. So the reason we're not experiencing Krishna face to face is by all these conditions. We're conditioned to be conditional. That's the problem. But our conditioning is to make conditions. So we have to recondition ourselves to put no conditions. And that's called sadhana bhakti. So we have about 4 minutes left. Anything else? Yes.
Probably, just being mother, you always think about your child first. So I started chanting Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, but like end of the day, I can't think about Krishna. I only think about my child first and then Krishna. So how to redesign it?
How to?
Redesign this thinking. Like how to do this.
So I'm a mother, and naturally I'm thinking a lot about my child. I'm just started also practicing Krishna consciousness, starting to put Krishna. But at the end of the day, still I'm thinking first about my child and then only about Krishna. So how to change that kind of.
Why don't you offer your child to Krishna? My dear Lord Krishna, you've given me this wonderful child. Now please bless me. I can fully engage this child in your service. Now while you're thinking of your child, you think of Krishna. Don't remove your child. Offer your child in Krishna's service, and that way you become Krishna conscious, your child become Krishna conscious. You see? Just like Prabhupada's father, Gaur Mohan Dev, was a pure devotee. He raised that little Abai as a pure devotee. Prabhupada was raised as a pure devotee by his pure devotee father. So you should be like Prabhupada's father and raise your child to be Krishna conscious, and that will make you Krishna conscious also, automatically. So you don't give up your child, but you actually in this way, you increase your motherly affection. You have an increase in motherly affection for your child. You don't deny it, but you increase it. Now perfect your motherly affection for your child by engaging your child in Krishna's service, so your child doesn't take birth again in the material world. You understand? Now be the best mother in the whole universe by making your child a pure devotee, so your child goes back to Godhead and you go back to Godhead. Does that make sense? So now you do it. You be the best mother in the whole world for your child. You can even think of Mother Sadā, how much she loved Krishna, and try to follow in her footsteps. Anything else? Yes.
So normally when the body is in pain, we must concern of the body, and when we are hospitalized and they give drugs and other things, they put the ICU to, and when we leave the body at the time of the pain and when we are in unconscious state. So is it possible to still remember Krishna?
When we're in great pain, how do we become Krishna? How do we go back to God? I'm suffering. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, no, I've just been through a lot of immense pain myself lately. Horrible pain I've gone through. A very bad case of sciatica and a wheelchair and a walker. And even now I had a horrible attack of pain yesterday, some muscle horrible thing going on. So take it, use your pain as there's even a saying, no pain, no gain. So use your pain take it as a blessing. See, you have a tendency to take pain as a curse, you see. That's our tendency because we misidentify with the body. But instead of doing that, take pain as a great blessing. I remember there in Austin, as I was laying in great pain, I couldn't even get out of the bed to go pass the urine. I had a little tube to pass the urine and a little can by the bed. It was horrible. But I had Murli Manahars on the wall. I would look up, and I would, in that great pain, I would say, Murli, my dear Murli Manahar, you're the puppeteer and I'm the puppet. Pull your strings as you like. I used to talk to him like that. I'm the puppet and you're the puppeteer, please. And I was in horrible pain, couldn't even get out of bed to pass the urine. I would just pray to him, talk to him, say, you're the puppeteer and I'm the puppet, pull the strings as you like. So I found that way I use pain for my advantage, to increase my feelings of dependence and surrender to my beloved Murli Manahar, Krishna. That's what I did. So you can try that the next time you get tagged by pain. My dear Krishna, thank you for blessing me with this pain. You give me pain or pleasure, it doesn't matter, my Lord. Do whatever you want to with me. But please bless me, I can be fully surrendered unto you in every situation of pain or pleasure. So take pain as a blessing and use it as an opportunity to go deeper and deeper, dive deeper and deeper into that sublime ocean known as Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much.